Let's learn about Power Apps AddColumns and the other data manipulating functions, right? So shaping your data is a challenge that you have. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna show you the different ways to do it in Power Apps. And we're gonna start at the very basics, right? Very simple scenarios. And by the end, I wanna kind of introduce you to some of the more advanced reasons you might be doing things like this, right? We're also gonna keep in mind that none of this changes your data source. We'll cover that again. And that, delegation kind of comes into play. So, it's not as straightforward as it can be. But once you learn these functions, you can do a lot of really cool stuff. All right, let's just switch over to my desktop and take a look. Okay, so over here we got a nice blank app. And the only thing I've done is added the data source SharePoint so we'd have something to play with, right? Nothing about this is SharePoint specific, but I just wanted to make sure we had data source in there. Okay, so if we insert ourselves a gallery, right? Nice little vertical gallery here, and we just throw the employees list in, we know that we're going to see all my people's faces and some data about them. There you go, something like that. And so here we know we've got first name and there's another column called last name. But a lot of times, okay, I just want to see their full name, right? So we write this formula a lot. I can't imagine how many times in my life I've written that formula, but that is a way to get their first and last name concatenated into one label. But what if you're like, hey, I'm really tired of typing that all the time. I really wish that I just had one column that had that whole string in it. So we could go to SharePoint and change it, but maybe we're not allowed to change SharePoint. Maybe it's Dataverse or SQL. Like it's something we can't mess with, right? Often we find ourselves not able to change the data source, so we can change it on the fly here. So if I click on the gallery itself, we have the items property. Remember, the items property just wants a table. It doesn't care how you get there. So to that end, what if we go here and say, hey, I want to add columns to employees, comma, and we're gonna add a column called full name. And what do we want that to be? I want it to be that first name, there it is, first name, ampersand, space, ampersand, and then how about last name? Okay. Now, remember, this does not change SharePoint. SharePoint doesn't know about this. The only place that this new table exists is right here in the items. So just for this gallery, if I go to another gallery, it doesn't exist. It literally just exists here at this items, right? But now if we go here and say this item, we can do, not first name, we can do full name, right? Whose demo is this? And now full name has already got that put together, okay? Now, that's probably not the most exciting example, but that's the first one I always want you to do because that one hopefully gets things clicking that we manipulated it. Now, speaking of it not changing the data source, remember that this is also not delegable, right? So if you don't understand delegation, go watch that video. It is irresponsible to build Power Apps if you don't understand delegation. But what that means is since this function is not delegable, instead of getting back all the items, it's only going to get back the items up to the delegation limit. So you want to be careful where you use any of these data manipulation functions. But once you're past all that, add columns, bingo, bango, we have now got a full name in our list. That was kind of boring, but we got to start easy. So where's a place that people like to do this? So one of the things that we sometimes see people do is like, hey, I want to sort by columns. So say sort by columns and employees. And then if we choose here first name, now they're all sorted by the first name. But what oftentimes, right now, why is this throwing an error? Because we got rid of that other add columns, right? So if we edit this, right, that's not gonna work. But that's all right, because I really wanted to show you here that another field I have in this data set is favorite color, right? And favorite color has to be .value because it's a choice column. What if you wanted to sort on that particular column? Well, we just go back up here, right? Sort by columns, and we just start to type in favorite color. Well, there you go, it's suggestions, we'll do it. It doesn't work. And it gives you this weird, right? Cannot sort on the expression type. Basically, sort by columns doesn't work on a complex column, which the choice column is. But I have to sort by favorite color. No problem. This is where our friend AddColumns comes into play. So we can say we want to take our employees, we want to add a column. And what kind of column do we want to add? We want to add one called FC for favorite color. And then we're going to do favorite color.value. So now there is a column called FC with the favorite color value. So if we do a comma and we do FC like so, look at that. Now they are sorted by everyone's favorite color. Down here, instead of using the long version, we can now use the new column. This is one of the tricks, right? This is one of the things that you sometimes have to add a column for is you want to sort by one of those type of columns, the choice column being the one that I get the request about the most. Oh, what? You want more? All right. So what if instead of adding columns for that, what if we go back over here and let's go add another data source. So on my SharePoint list, I also have a column called departments. So Power Apps videos, choose departments. We'll click connect down there under my face. Okay. And so this SharePoint departments list, all it is the departments and the metadata. So Well, in the employees, they all know what department they're with, right? And it's just a text column. So justice, executive, all these different fun things. What if I wanted to be able to pull in their manager, right? So we know that I could come down here and do something like this. We'd say insert another label in there. And then here we might do something like lookup departments where title equals this item dot department. That would get the whole record back. And then if we did manager, now we would see the different managers for the different departments, right? So this is a scenario that sometimes we do. Now there's performance challenges with that. We're not gonna get down that rabbit hole today, but not always the best idea. What I want you to understand though is if you understand how that works, what you could do, copy, we could have went back up here and said, hey, after add columns, and you can actually add more than one column at a time, right? So we'll just go inside here, do another comma, and then we'll say DM for department manager, and then we'll paste in that lovely formula. Now this item doesn't work in here, but department straight up does, right? So lookup department, boom, 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 boom. And so now if we go here, instead of doing the lookup here, we could do a DM, this item.dm. Like, what am I doing wrong here? There you go. And so now we've got those pulled in. And because that's now a column, right? We now have the ability, we could sort on that or, do different types of things, right? Because now we just have a text column that contains their manager. Now, a lot of that stuff might not make the most sense if you are in here, poking the bear in just a gallery because you're like, well, why don't I just do the lookup? Like, is it any different? Probably not, right? Because really it went and did that same thing repetitively anyway. But one of the things to keep in mind is that sometimes we do it this way. Sometimes you might say, this is now the data set that I want to use throughout my app for everything, right? So copy. So what if we said here, insert a button, and when they click this button, right, we'd say clear collect, enhanced, took me 3 tries to spell that, employees, and then we could paste that function in. And now when we press that button, boop, now we've got a collection with that data. And so we've done that. And the reason I bring this up is, one of the things I did, we're talking 6 years ago, this guy, he was a CFO, I don't know. Yeah, he was an accountant, right? So he was a CFO, I think. Anyway, he built himself this Power App to track a bunch of loads, right? So stuff they were sending all over the place and the drivers of the loads and all the mechanics that went with that, right? So he built a great Power App to do that. High five to him. And then he built this one screen to show him everything that was going on with all that data. So all the loads, the costs, all the pricing, everything. The challenge was that when he clicked the button, it took, I'm not kidding you, 12 minutes for that screen to render, right? It was just this giant block of HTML doing all these calculations, all these lookups, all this stuff. And he said, hey, can you make it faster? I don't know. So I spent a few hours with it. And one of the things that I ended up doing was I found that he was looking up the same data out of that data set over and over and over and over and over and over again, like 20 times. So I ended up creating a collection, add columns, pulled in those queries. So we just did all the queries once and did it. I introduced a with, like I did a bunch of stuff to really manipulate it. It was all said and done, I got it down to 30 seconds. So that's why while my demos aren't super exciting, I can't show you his app, obviously. Well, I don't have access to it anymore. But what I want you to plant your seed in your head, right, is that once you understand that add columns just takes a table and bolts on other fields to that table, like all the things you know how to do with tables, collections, galleries, HTML to make PDFs, whatever you're doing with it, all of that, it becomes, second nature, right? Like, this is this type of stuff you have to learn to start building more advanced apps. Okay. So an advanced scenario, right? If we go here, insert a dropdown. So right now, I've got a dropdown, right? With a sample, 1, 2, 3, boo. So if we use the sequence function, right? We know that the sequence function would give me 10 records, right? So now it's a table of 1 to 10, right? Sequence is just a table. No big deal. What if I said I want to get the next 10 days from today, right? What if we just go here, add columns, sequence 10, and then we're going to add a column for, we're going to call it my date, like that. And then what are we going to do with the my date column? We're going to call it, take today plus value, which is the number column, right? And so now if we change the value here to show me my date, look at that, there's 10-1 through 10-10. Oh, you wanted to see today's date? No big deal, right? We go back to sequence and say, hey, I want you to start at 0. Now it's today's date at 9:30, the next 10 dates. All right. What if all of a sudden now I want to see, so today's Monday, the next 10 Mondays? No big deal, right? Sequence lets me add a 7 there. And now we've got the next, whatever that is, 10 Mondays. I forgot my own example. So, that's the type of stuff. I know I just rattled that off real fast, but that's the type of stuff as you get more familiar with and you just accept Power Apps just wants what it wants. It doesn't care how you get there. We start messing with tables, all my table tricks combined into one. Few seconds later, I got a drop down with all those in there. Hey, go to my training classes, training.poweraapps911.com. Check them out. They're really cool. Now, maybe you look at this and go, well, I've got this extra value column. Cool. Well, then why don't we just add another function here called ShowColumns. So ShowColumns takes a table, which AddColumns put out, and it lets you choose what columns you want to present, what columns you want to let out. Only let out my date. And now if we look in the dropdown, we've only got my date because it says of all the columns that are there, only show me my date. Only let my date be part of this table. So it's a way of getting rid of everything but that particular column. And you could have multiple. So like if we go back over here, we could do the same type of thing, right? Like this thing's got like 20 columns. But if we said show columns, and then we said, all right, only things I want to show are FC. If we do that, right? Oh, it's really angry. So let's do FC. Let's do the face column. Okay. And then what other columns is it missing? Oh, we need DM. All right. We'll show DM and we'll show first name and last name, right? And so then back to here and we can just keep hitting comma, DM, and then comma first name, and then comma last name. Now this is one of those weird nuances. Now we added first name and last name, but it's still angry. So we go down here and look, they look right. So what it is when it comes out of there, it doesn't handle the spaces the same. So now we have to change it to last name. Like that problem has never actually shown up for me in real life, but I want you to see it. Right? Even though they have spaces here, you can see the single quotes, like it did all that for it. It understood it here. The output of that, outputted them as concatenated. It just kind of dropped the space. So you might have to rewrite the formula. It's probably never going to happen to you, but what I want you to take out of it is that show columns is a way to say, hey, instead of giving me all the data back, just give me certain columns. This is something we used to use a lot more in the older days, olden times. But no, we had to use it a lot more because it lowers the payload, right? Normally when you do a employees, right? Employees gets back the whole table, all the columns. So then we could do show columns, only do the ones we wanted to do to lower the amount of data that got pushed down across the network. Today, Power Apps has a lot of smarts under the hood, and most of the time it'll say, oh, that's cute, right? You don't need all these other columns, and so it will not go fetch those. So Power Apps does a lot of that thinking for us. That's called, I think it was an enhanced column selection or explicit column selection. I don't know. It has some functionality that does that for us. But just in case you ever need it, you can do show columns. Also, we have the reverse available. So let's get rid of show columns for a second. All right, back to here. So what if instead of saying, hey, I only want to see these 3 or 4 columns like we just did, what if you're like, I just really don't want this one column to come across. I really want to get rid of it, right? So then there is another function called DropColumns. And so DropColumns gives you all the columns back except for the column that you say. So like here, if we say, hey, don't bring me back, we'll do face. So now you're going to see that my thing's broken because this image control over here is using face, and face is not a valid column anymore because we said, hey, give me the whole table except for face. And we could do additional ones, right? So you could, drop as many columns as you wanted. And maybe, maybe you want to drop department now because you got that whole DM thing. I don't know, right? The world is your oyster, so do your thing. But just keep that in mind. Like you have the ability to show columns to only show the ones you want, or drop columns to get the others. And remember, none of these functions are affecting your data source, and none of them are delegable, which you now hopefully know about. Okay, one more, and then we'll stop with all this craziness. The last one is super easy, so let's get rid of our drop columns again as well. So the last one here is we have the ability also to rename columns. So if we go here, we could say rename columns. And then if we want to take like the department column and rename it to the DDD column, I don't know, right? So now we could just go down here and be like, hey, show me this item dot DDDD. And so then now instead of calling it department, you call it DDDD. So that can be handy if you're, trying to get things to match up. You're trying to get things in the same pattern. Honestly, it's not a lot that I end up using that. Really, if you think about it, like, so we use add columns all the time. Well, we use sort columns even more. But show columns, drop columns, rename columns, they're good to have in your back pocket. You should know them, but we're not going to do much with them. And remember, none of this changes your data source. I can't stress that enough. So lastly, what I want to do is, when I was thinking about this video, I was like, hey, what are other clever things with add columns? And so where did I go? I went over and asked my friend ChatGPT, hey, what are some ideas? And so I thought some of these were good. So like here's one, merging data. So this is where we did the lookup, right? I ended up adding this demo where we did the departments. Now I want you to note one thing when you're using repositories, whether it's old videos, old blog posts, or things like ChatGPT that were trained a long time ago, or not that long ago, but the add columns and all these columns, they've changed a little bit over time. And so it used to be when you created a column name, you had to put in double quotes around the name. So you'll see this syntax. This syntax used to be right. It is not right anymore. If you're going to use the same syntax, you would just drop those double quotes around the column name. That was one thing that it doesn't do correctly. So here's a clever one. You can have an if formula in there. So when you're pulling in the things, you pulled in products, you want to check the stock status, or you have a column called stock status and be in stock or low stock based off of the quantity column that came out of products. So that is something we've done that type of scenario before. If you do grouping data, so group by, which there's a video up there called group by. It's a very complicated function, but if you have lots of data, you want to group it by departments and something, it outputs tables. And so this is showing you how then to take that table and sum the data in. So I thought that was neat. I didn't like that example. This one's just doing the same thing as we did earlier, but using like a text input or a user variable to do the calculations. So before you may throw it in that collection or generate that HTML for PDFs. Here they did a sequence. So let's steal this one real quick. I don't want to say copy code. That'd be more clever. Let's say Alt Tab. And so if we go here to our little drop down, if we paste in their code, we're going to get an error. Remember, I told you the whole month name, right? You got to get rid of the double quotes around that. So that's one problem. The other problem, see out here where it said date add months? So it used to be we could just type in months. And unfortunately, they changed that also. So now what you have to do is time unit.months. And then now you've got the little drop down that has got all the months using a combination of sequence and who'sy whatsy. Okay. So that's a cool one. Bonus tip, you don't have to do that, right? What you can do is you could have just went here and said, I want calendars month long and put some double quotes behind it. And look at that. And that calendar month long, both of those formulas actually would have spit out in the different regions. So if you were, a different one, like in Spanish, right? I think that's enero, right? I think that was January. I don't know, right? My Spanish is terrible. My English is terrible, to be honest. So anyway, those are some functions there. So I thought that was fun. Let's see what else ChatGPT's got. This one was a little weird, so I'll leave that one alone. So just pre-formatting the column. Once again, you might do this in a label, but once again, you might do it in a collection, and add columns would be the way to do that. And then remember, you can stack add columns. So this is adding a column for the commission and then adding a column for sales amount minus commission to get net sales. So we've definitely seen that before. We've nested add columns because we want to use one in another formula. That's pretty cool. And then this one is very clear, very similar to the one we did earlier, where you're just kind of putting some type of if formula in there. So a lot of fun things you can do with add columns. And I think that's enough for today. So what do you think of this? All right, this is my second video on this whole idea of just tackling a group of functions. You find this kind of fun, interesting? Leave me comments below and hit the like button while you're down there too, please. All right. Yeah, if I can do anything to help you, right? We've got training, consulting, you name it, we can do it for you. And so with that, I'm going to say thanks and have a great day.